Today we should be looking at the movie Rebel Moon. The film opens with the voice of an android named Jimmy narrating over the history of the Motherworld. The pursuit of power led to the royal family's conquest until an assassin murdered the king and queen. On the planet Veldt, a woman named Cora tends to her crops before meeting her friend Gunnar to go to a harvest celebration in their village. The village's chief, Sindri, addresses his people while a hunter named Den has eyes for Cora, though she has no interest in a romantic relationship. While out with her friend Samid J, Cora sees Motherworld ships descending upon Veldt. The community discusses how to approach the visitors before three smaller ships led by Noble arrive in the village. Noble speaks to Sindri over potential rebels in the land, as well as questioning him over the supply of crops they yield. After a tense exchange, Noble beats Sindri to death in front of his people, along with another woman. He then demands to Gunnar that the village hand over their grain supply within 10 weeks. The villagers debate on how to handle Noble and his men, with some offering to appeal to their humanity. Cora later sees as some of the soldiers harass Sam and attempt to rape her, even as Eris tries to stop them. Cora enters the barn with an axe and proceeds to slaughter the soldiers until the captain holds Sam at gunpoint. Jimmy enters, and the captain orders him to kill Cora, but Jimmy instead shoots him. This is enough to convince Cora they need to fight back since Noble will kill off the villagers when he returns. Cora leaves Veldt with Gunnar to seek out a group of insurgents called the Blood Axes who may aid them against the forces of Balisarius. Cora tells Gunnar about how she witnessed the slaughter of her community at the hands of the tyrant when she was a child. And she was faced with an opportunity to kill him when confronted with him, but her weapon was out of ammunition. Instead of killing her, Balisarius had Cora train at the Imperium along with other soldiers under the name Arthelaus, turning her into a killer before she deserted them. Despite being groomed into being a mercenary with no emotional connections, Cora had a lover who was killed in battle. Cora and Gunnar arrive in the port city of Providence to seek out the man who may lead them to the Blood Axis. When the two mention General Titus, a nearby man named Kai begins to pay attention. Cora and Gunnar are accosted by a thug who attempts to sexually assault Gunnar before Cora knocks him down. A nearby alien tells Cora and Gunnar about Titus's whereabouts before the thug returns with backup. Cora and Gunnar fight and kill them until the main thug has Cora at gunpoint. Kai raises his firearm and blasts the thug in the head before introducing himself as a smuggler and joining Cora and Gunnar. Kai suggests to Cora that he knows a man who can aid them on their mission. He guides them to a ranch on another planet to find a man called Tarak who is being kept prisoner by the rancher, Hickman, due a debt Tarak owes him. He is told about Cora's mission, and the three bargain with Hickman that if Tarak can tame a nearby chained-up creature called a Bennu, then Tarak can go free, otherwise all of them will be indebted to Hickman. Tarak approaches the Bennu and communicates with it. After freeing it, Tarak rides the wild beast. He is granted freedom to join Cora, but as he leaves, he witnesses Hickman poorly handling the Bennu, which ends with the creature killing Hickman by sticking its talon through his chest. Kai then leads Cora to a cobalt mining planet where they meet a swordsman called Nemesis. Kai informs her of the job just before she meets a humanoid spider creature called Harada A, who is keeping a small girl captive before preparing to kill her. Nemesis tries to negotiate with Harada, but ultimately ends up battling the monster and impales her fatally before saving the girl. Nemesis joins the rest of the crew. The experience makes Cora reminisce over how she spent time as the royal guard for Issa when she served the Imperium. She witnessed Issa bring a bird back to life, and the king had believed Cora being her friend made her feel safe, but Cora clearly feels guilt over what happened to Issa and her parents. The crew goes to a moon that holds a gladiator arena where Titus is. Once an Imperium general, he now lives disgraced on the streets and works as a prize fighter after his previous failure in battle. While Titus remains ashamed of his past, Cora convinces him to fight back so he can get his revenge. A crew then goes to the planet Shiran, where they meet King Levitica so that they can meet the Blood Axe siblings, Darian and Devra, in the hopes that Gunnar's previous connections with them may give them a chance at convincing them to join their rebellion. The two have no desire to help until Cora gives them a speech. Darian then gives his own speech to his clan, with half of them joining him and the other half going with Devra. Noble and his crew, the King's Gaze, have been tracking the Blood Axes and later turn up on the scene after the insurgents retreat, and he kills Levitica before laying siege to the area. Kai guides the crew to a trading post under the guise that he is dropping off goods before setting off for a better life. But he was actually in cahoots with Noble this whole time and was trying to collect the bounties on the heads of Korra and the others. Noble has them captured and reveals he knows more about the crew than they let on. Tarek is actually a prince, while Nemesis killed several Imperium soldiers to avenge her murdered children. When Gunnar is ordered to execute Korra, he instead grabs the weapon and uses it to kill Kai. A battle breaks out between the freed rebels and the King's Gaze. Tyrion gives his life to bring down a ship and save as many of his people as he can. Most of the villains are killed before Korra and Noble have their showdown atop the post's highest platform. After an intense fight, Korra overpowers Noble and knocks him off the ledge. The crew returns to Veldt and enjoys their temporary victory, but they are aware that the Imperium will soon retaliate. Korra brings her new friends back to her village, more hopeful for their future than before. An Imperium ship recovers Noble's body and starts to revive him. His mind is taken to a realm where he communicates with Balisarius. Despite thinking he will be happy to know about Noble finding Korra, Balisarius is instead angered and demands that Noble bring Korra to him so that he may kill her personally. Well, here ends our today's recap. Consider sharing the video and subscribing to our channel to support our work.